interrupt your programming today to bring teachers some information about Asperger's syndrome.
Well, Rachel, what exactly is Asperger's syndrome?
I'm glad you asked, Holly. Asperger's syndrome is a mild form of autism.
Well, isn't autism a developmental disability that causes social, communication, and behavioral challenges?
Yes, Holly, it is, but those with Asperger's present milder symptoms. What sets Asperger's apart from other autism spectrum disorders is that people with Asperger's syndrome have minimal problems with language or intellectual ability.
Really, that's interesting. So, how could an educator recognize this disorder in the classroom?
This is really key. Being aware of this disorder is important. Children with Asperger's face social challenges. This means they don't know how to properly act in social situations. Students may isolate themselves and they have trouble reading body language. They also fixate on one thing or one subject. They may excel in one subject but struggle in all the rest of their classes.
That makes it kind of difficult. So, how does having Asperger's syndrome affect children in the school setting?
Students get isolated from their peers because they are socially awkward. They don't know how to relate to their peers, so they have trouble making friends. This can be really frustrating for those students. So students may act out if they feel uncomfortable or if they're put into unfamiliar situations. So teachers should try to avoid this.
That makes sense. So, what are some things that teachers can do to help these students?
Teachers can do a variety of things. One key thing is to keep routines constant. People with Asperger's syndrome thrive on routine. They must do the same thing the same way each time.
Well, so what should the teacher do if the routine of the day has to be changed?
That's a really good question, Holly. The routines in schools are often changed. In this case, teachers should warn and prepare the student ahead of time. Let them know what to expect on the day that their schedule is going to change, and before that day, keep reminding them until the change actually happens.
Well, that sounds easy enough to do.
It is, it really is.
So, is there anything else that teachers can do to help these students?
Teachers need to give the students verbal directions and visual cues. A visual cue that they can use is a yellow card if they're doing distracting behavior. Teachers can also help by providing students social and collaborative interactions throughout the day. This will help them with their social interactions.
Sounds like a great idea. So, how do these children get diagnosed?
This disorder must be diagnosed by a professional. The child must be seen by a licensed psychologist, and the child must exhibit 6 out of 12 symptoms across the areas of social interaction, communication, and behavior during these sessions.
So, what are some resources that parents can use?
There are many resources out there for parents. Parents can go to school psychologists, which are in every school system, and they can also visit healthcare professionals like licensed psychologists. Those they can get referred to from their primary care physicians. Parents can also go to the internet. They can go to the Centers for Disease Control at cdc.gov. They can also go to the National Institutes of Health at nih.gov. And there are many other resources out there for parents. They just need to look for them.
Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us.
Thank you for giving me the time to share it. Now back to your regular programming. No. What are some resources for parents?
Okay.
Wait, I should take off.
Sorry.
My hands, okay.
I'm not helping.
Okay.
Our lighting technician.
Rachel's strumming it like a guitar.